Hello, my friends. Today we bring you Jennifer Lawrence's filmography. Garden Party. April is running from one bad situation into another, hoping to find an answer that doesn't involve nudity, and falls in with a group of confused kids chasing their dreams. The Poker House. Young Agnes faces a harsh reality growing up in a home marked by addictions and abuse, while she struggles to protect her sisters and preserve her innocence amid the pain. The Burning Plane. 5 people will embark on their own journeys in search of redemption and come to understand that their actions can make the difference between living or dying. Winter's Bone. Faced with the possibility of losing the house where she lives with her younger siblings and having to go back to the Ozark forest, Ree defies codes and the law of silence, risking her life to save her family. Like crazy. An intense romance blossoms between Jacob and Anna, but the distance imposed by immigration and personal choices turns their relationship into a journey of passion, longing, and challenges that test true love. The Beaver. Walter Black is a father who suffers from depression, and in the midst of a serious midlife crisis, he finds hope through a beaver puppet that he treats as if it were real. X-Men: First Class. In the 1960s, superpowered humans Charles Xavier and Eric worked together to find others like them, but Eric's vengeful pursuit of an ambitious mutant who ruined his life divides them. The Hunger Games. In a distant future, Katniss Everdeen volunteers for a deadly competition between districts to save her sister. Alongside Peeta Mellark, they challenge the ruling system and other opponents. Silver Linings Playbook. After leaving a psychiatric clinic, Pat tries to rebuild his life and win back his ex-wife, but everything changes when he meets Tiffany, a young woman equally marked by trauma, who leads him to discover new ways of hope and love. House at the End of the Street. Sarah and her daughter, Alyssa, move to a small town to start over after Sarah's divorce. They discover a terrible secret. A young girl killed her parents and disappeared, leaving her brother, Ryan, with whom Alyssa becomes involved. The Devil You Know. Catherine Vale, an ex-movie star with a dark past, is threatened by an anonymous blackmailer when she tries to revive her career, forcing her to confront the truth about herself and those around her. The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. After winning the last edition of the Hunger Games, Katniss and Peeta's defiant attitudes end up inspiring a rebellion against the oppressive capital. However, the two are forced to participate in a special edition of the tournament. American Hustle. Irving Rosenfeld is a great con artist who works alongside his partner and lover Sidney Prosser. The two are forced to collaborate with Richie DiMasso, an FBI agent who infiltrates Rosenfeld into the world of the Mafia. X-Men: Days of Future Past. The ultimate set of X-Men are fighting a war for the survival of their species in 2 time periods, while joining forces with their younger selves in an epic battle that must change the past to save our future. Serena. George had already lived in the countryside where he had a son with another woman. Serena is new to country life. Upon discovering she is sterile, Serena decides that she must kill the child that George had with another woman. The Hunger Games: Mockingjay. Part 1. After surviving the Hunger Games arena, Katniss Everdeen is disheartened and shattered. Following the capital's reduction of District 12 to rubble, she sought refuge in District 13. Peeta Mellark is under Snow's control. The Hunger Games: Mockingjay. Part 2. Katniss and her friends, Peeta, Gale, and Finnick, embark on their final mission to organize a resistance against the president and free the people of Panem. Katniss's courage reignites hope in a country willing to rid itself of oppression. Joy. Joy is a young woman who builds a commercial empire and becomes a matriarch. Allies become adversaries, and adversaries become allies as Joy's inner life and fierce imagination lead her through a world of cutthroat business. X-Men: Apocalypse. Apocalypse, the first mutant of all, manages to return to life after thousands of years. Now he sets out to find followers to dominate the world. It is up to the X-Men to unite and stop the villain's plans, preventing a global catastrophe. Passengers. A spaceship traveling to a colony on a distant planet and carrying thousands of people experiences a malfunction in its sleep chambers. As a result, 2 passengers are awakened 90 years early. Mother. A couple lives in a huge country mansion, while the young wife spends her days restoring the place, which was affected by a past fire. The older husband desperately tries to regain inspiration to write the poems that made him famous. Red Sparrow. Dominika Egorova is persuaded to become a sparrow, which is a seductive spy trained at Russia's best espionage school. After going through the arduous learning process, she becomes the most talented spy in the country. Dark Phoenix. Charles Xavier is dealing with the fact that mutants are considered national heroes. He sends his team on dangerous missions, but the X-Men's first task in space results in a solar explosion that ignites an evil and hungry force. Don't Look Up. 2 astronomers discover a comet heading toward Earth and try to warn humanity, facing media frenzy, political indifference, and widespread disbelief as the clock ticks toward catastrophe. Causeway. Lindsay is a military woman who struggles to adjust to life back home in New Orleans after a traumatic injury. When she meets the local mechanic James, the duo begins to establish an unexpected bond. No Hard Feelings. Maddie, on the brink of bankruptcy, is hired by overprotective parents to help their introverted son become more confident before college. She has only 1 summer to complete her mission. Die, My Love. In a city full of dreams and hidden dangers, a young woman becomes entangled in obsession and desire, facing the dark and unforeseen consequences of chasing love at any cost. Who would you like to see in the next video? Write in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.